So we're on page 139 this morning. 139. We're almost done with the book. Yeah, we're getting close. We are getting there. It's crazy because, in April we have spring break, which is nice, another little break for us. And then just a few more weeks after that, our class is going to go to the end of May. So, um, really there's only like 9 weeks left, I think, or something like that. Last time I counted. Okay. I mean, I know you love me and all, but I know it's nice not having a lot of homework. So there you go. I don't take it personally. 139. We are learning unnecessary commas with subject verb pairs. So there's more. There's more comma stuff. Every clause contains a subject verb pair. And I've told you this a bunch of times. Phrases do not have subject verb pair, but clauses do. So we already know we have a who, which clause, we have a that clause, we have a because clause, we have an adverb clause. What am I missing? Main clause. Anyway, there's a bunch that you guys already know. All of those clauses have a subject verb pair. There's a new comma rule that we're going to learn today, and it has an X over it because you're not going to put a comma between a subject and its verb. So Mother Wolf loved Mowgli. It's kind of obvious. We don't need a comma there. There's no need to put a comma between the subject and verb pair. Remove this comma because you do not put a comma between a subject and a verb and its verb. Some of the wolves still supported Mowgli. Obviously, it's not a good spot for a comma. You're not going to separate out the subject and verb pair. Remove this comma because you do not put a comma between a subject and verb, even if there are words between the subject and its verb. Look at this one. Shere Khan, who hated Mowgli, deceived the wolves. You just learned you should not put a comma between a subject and its verb. However, because you know how English is, there's always an exception to the rule. You also have learned this rule to place commas around a non-essential who, which clause. When two comma rules contradict, follow the rule that says use a comma. So sometimes we have contradictions in the English grammar. So whenever that's the case, just do the comma. Okay, so if it's a who or a which clause in the middle and it is non-essential, then you still use commas. And then it says remove a comma between a subject and its verb. So this is how you're going to fix it in this book. They're going to try to trick you on that. Just watch out for the who, which clause. Everything else, you could take it out. Okay, so Mowgli could not understand their hatred. No comma there. All right, any questions about the comma rule? There's more on the next page. More unnecessary comma rules. Yay. Okay. If you have now learned several places where commas are unnecessary. Here's the rule again. The key to punctuating sentences correctly is to think about parts of speech and the structure of your sentences. We already just learned this one. The subject verb pair, do not put a comma between the subject and its verb unless there's a who or which clause in there. Coordinating conjunction, those are the fanboy words. Do not put a comma, or you use a comma before a CC when it connects two items in a series, unless it's a main clause. It's like a main clause, CC, main clause. Then you do have a comma between that. Do not use a comma before a CC when it connects two verbs. MC, CC, second verb. We talked about that before. Prepositional phrase. Do not put a comma in front of a prepositional phrase. A who, which clause, and a participle ing phrase. Do not use commas when the phrase or clause is essential. Essential means it changes the meaning of the sentence. Meaning, remember when we used to talk about the brain and the pinky? Did I tell you guys about that? The brain is essential. Pinky, not so much. I know we're tired. We're tired. I'm feeling it too, actually. So, okay, I'm going to just keep going. The adverb clause, that is the www.asia word clause. Do not use a comma before an adverb clause that follows a main clause if the pattern is MC and then AC. That clause, do not use a comma before the that clause. Adjectives, do not use a comma to separate cumulative adjectives. Remember we talked about dosis scomp a while back. Cumulative means the adjectives must be arranged in a specific order. You cannot reverse their order or add and between them. Okay. Interjections. Do not use comma after an interjection that expresses a strong emotion. Use an exclamation mark. Instead, that's like, watch out, or no way, or whoa. Those types of interjections. Quotations. Do not use a comma after a quoted sentence, question, or quoted exclamation. The question mark or exclamation mark replaces the comma. So whenever it's a quote that's a question, you don't need a comma there. Whenever it's a quote with an exclamation, you don't need a comma there. And then there are two sentence openers. Do not use a comma if fewer than 5 words for that prepositional opener. Do not use a comma if the ly modifies the verb. There is always a reason a comma is necessary. Follow the comma rules. I love how they just throw that in at the end. That's not fair. Okay. Lots of reasons not to use a comma, but then there's always a reason to use a comma. Anyway, all right, we'll figure this out. We got this, okay? If you got to come back to this page, maybe that'll help you with the comma stuff. Let's keep going. Practice page 141. How about Aubrey? Would you please read it today?
Murmuring to Mowgli, Bagheera encouraged him to stand for justice. They would fight for Mowgli's and Akela's lives and teach Shere Khan a lesson.
Okay. Good job reading that. Murmuring, you know what murmuring is? It's like mumbling. It's speaking quietly, not super clearly. So we'll check that. I know sometimes you guys like to do the fix it column first. So let's see if we can get through some of those first. So indent, that's an easy one. Paragraph symbol here at the beginning. And then 2 capitals. Well, we have to figure out where the periods go first. Murmuring to Mowgli, Bagheera encouraged him to stand for justice. It sounds like that's a complete thought to me. It ends at justice, and then it starts with a new subject here, they. So I'm going to say, let's take out that period, that comma, and put in a period there. And of course, we need a period at the end. So those are the 2 end marks. Now we can do our capitals. We already did our indent. Okay, before we can figure out the other commas, oh, there are 2 apostrophes. What do you think, Kylie? Where do the apostrophes go?
I want to do the commas.
You got the commas? All right, tell us where they go. Or to take out.
After Mowgli.
After Mowgli, put one in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Take away after Bagheera.
Okay.
And after Akela's lives.
Yes, take it away.
And then you already did the other one.
Okay, cool. Thank you. How about the Matt and Ian? I need you guys to turn your camera on now. So how about the apostrophes, Matt? Where do those go?
Mowgli's.
Right here, Mowgli's. Okay.
And Akela's.
And Akela's. Okay, because the lives belong to them. You're right. All right, got those. All right, we're done with the fix-it column. 2 coordinating conjunctions. Ian, where are those? Those are the fanboys.
And.
Good, right here, and. They're very good. Got those. Let's do verbs and subjects next. So Aubrey, how about the verbs? If you want to do subject verb together, you can, or just the verbs, whatever's easier for you.
Bagheera encouraged.
Okay, Bagheera encouraged. That's one pair.
They would fight.
Good. They and would fight. And there's one more verb that goes with they.
Lives.
No, that's talking about, it's a noun. That's their lives. It's after that next coordinating conjunction there. Read after and right here.
Oh, they were saying, okay, teach.
Teach. Oh, you were looking at this and probably.
Yeah.
The next and. That's what I meant. So they would fight and teach. Okay, good. Those are the subject verb pairs. Now the main clauses, Kylie. Where are all the main clauses?
Murmuring to Mowgli.
This is not going to be part of the main clause
Okay.
because it's an
But-
opener. Remember, it's got to have a subject verb. Okay, you got it.
Bagheera encouraged him to stand for justice,
There you go. That's one.
and they would fight for Mowgli and Akela's lives,
And
and teach him to all the way to lessons.
you're like, whatever it says there. Yes, those are the two main clauses. Good job. And now what about the prepositional phrases, Ian? Do you see those?
To Mowgli.
Okay, yes, right here to Mowgli. Yes, that's one.
To stand for justice.
Yes. Actually, you know what? Sorry, I said yes too soon. It's going to be just for justice.
For justice.
Yeah, because that is an infinitive to stand. So not that one.
Yeah.
There's one more.
They would fight for Mowgli. Wait.
No subject verb. It's got to start with a preposition.
A lesson.
A is an article, so not a lesson. It's going to
Oh.
start with for. That's a preposition.
Oh, for Mowgli and Akira's life.
Yes, there you go. And it goes all the way to lives because lives is actually a noun here, even though we're not marking those anymore. So, can you guys turn on your camera yet?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Matt, turn on yours too. And then what are the two openers, Matt?
Oh, yeah. Well, subject opener for they.
This one's subject, okay.
And the first one of VSS.
No, because it keeps going all the way to justice. That's too many words, but it is an ing. Do you remember the ing opener?
For.
Yeah, there you go. For, and that's the ing. I'm just gonna put that there. Nice. Okay, we got it. Remember the ing opener, the thing after the comma has to be the thing doing the inging. So the murmuring, it has to be who's doing the murmuring, and it's Bagheera. Okay, so don't forget that little rule right there. All right, you guys, good job with that. Any questions about this page or anything we talked about today? Okay, moving on.
It feels like 8.
It feels like 8. Well, yeah, that's what our bodies are telling us. So yeah, I feel that. And I don't know about you guys, but it's hard to go to sleep because it's like at night, I feel like I'm still awake when I should be going to bed. And it's like, ugh.
Yeah. Just wait till summer. It's gonna be like light out till like 9 a.m. I mean 9 p.m.
I know that's kind of nice, but yeah, there's
No,
cons.
we go to sleep at 8. That's an hour of daylight trying to sleep.
Oh, yeah, that's hard. That's hard. Yeah. Sorry about
Um, we need like black shades for our blinds.
that.
Then we know it's dark.
Okay, I have to ask you a question this morning. And it's just, I'm just asking the question. I'm not trying to make things difficult for you. But have you started state testing yet? Or do you know when you will be state testing? Does anybody know? Okay, nobody knows.
When you
State,
say state testing, do you mean like the middle year state testing?
yeah, like the CAP.
Yeah.
You remember the CASP test?
Yeah, and then
Uh-huh.
the last test is after.
Yeah, it's so I know for you at Valley Oaks, there's like two different types of tests. You do like
Honestly, I don't know which one is which, and I just do my tests
I'm
The
trying to remember the name
24th.
of it.
and then forget about it.
That's all right. Ian?
I'm starting state testing on the 24th in
Uh,
2 weeks.
okay, in 2 weeks. Okay. So state testing for you guys, since you're homeschooled, is probably going to be on the computer. Oh, Aubrey?
My mom said we're gonna be doing it in 2 weeks.
Okay, so it's coming up. Okay, good. So it is, I mean, some schools do it differently. You either do it from home or you go to a library and do a state test, or you go to a school setting or a church. I
Or
don't
we
know.
go to the cafeteria.
Or the cafeteria at Valley Oaks. Yeah, because a lot of students are with Heartland, so it's a little bit different at Heartland. Okay, but the point is, I just want to talk to you a minute about this. When you do
That's
your
fine.
writing test, because you all will have writing will be part of your state testing. So they will give you a piece of paper or they will allow you to have like scratch paper. You know how you have scratch paper for math that you can use, but you will also have an opportunity to have paper for your writing, even though your writing is going to be typed because
Um,
everything's digital now on the test, right? Are you going to say
I gotta
something?
tell you, I aced my writing. I'm above grade level. My
Woohoo!
math does not have a grade level because I'm too high in it.
Oh my goodness. That's so exciting. I'm so happy for you though about both of those, but especially writing because you've been with me for like 3 years now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm like in 10th grade for my writing.
That's awesome. So you guys are going to do fantastic on it. This is what I want to say. Use the skills and the strategies that we have learned in class. It does not matter what the prompt is. If the prompt says something about read this paragraph and give a response to the paragraph, what you do is get out that scratch paper and you start building a keyword outline. Put your Roman numeral 1, put your 1 through 7, or however many sentences you need. And then you look for those keywords, and then you remember your dress up words and your openers and your topic clinchers, and you use that in your state testing. I'm telling you, you will ace this. Okay. This will help you. So use your scratch paper that they give you. You guys know how to set up all that stuff. We're even going to set one up again today. So make sure you use the skills that you learned with me when you go to do the writing. And sometimes the writing is like creative writing, where it'll say, write a story about getting lost in the forest. I don't know. And then you have to create the story. Well, the first thing you do is come up with your 3 topics. What happens to you when you're lost in the forest? Come write down some ideas on your scratch paper, jot them down, and then you pick 3 of those, right? If they want 3 paragraphs, you pick 3 topics, and then you build your keyword outline from that.
I
Okay?
just
You
had a
guys
bad
know how to
idea.
do this.
I just
Huh?
had a bad idea from what you just said, like getting lost in the forest. It's the reason why I'm gonna be digged 5 feet under instead of 6 feet under because I couldn't dig it in time.
Wow, that's pretty morbid, Kylie. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts. Okay. Anyway,
I lived.
okay,
I'm in
good.
Wonderland.
You're just playing around. Okay.
Mhm.
Anyways, that's what I want you guys to remember whenever, and we'll talk about it again next week in class and we'll practice a little bit. But I just want to give you a heads up. If it happens before we see each other again, you know what to do. Use your keyword outline, use your dress ups, use your openers. It's all in your head. You got this. Okay, that's my little pep talk. Now I'm done with that. Um, we are going to move on to week 14. So you can go ahead and put away week 13, which was writing about a person you know. We're done with that. And actually, speaking of,
I can call my mom
getting
now.
lost in the forest, we're going to write about a personal adventure next.
I already have it done.
So go ahead and get out week 14. Writing about a personal adventure. And you also need a piece of lined paper. So go ahead and get a piece of lined paper out.
That's my rooster. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I barely heard
We
him.
let the cage out last night,
Oh,
and now
yeah.
the rooster, like for 3 nights in a row now, and the rooster just keeps coming up to our door.
How funny.
But it's one of the pretty ones.
It's like
We
they're
named
saying,
him, and he's Cooper. We named him
Cooper, that's cute. That's really cute. He's saying good morning to you. That's what he's doing.
He started at 3 a.m.
All right, did you guys get week 14 out? This is a personal adventure and a lined paper. Aubrey, I see your hand.
Could I move spots because my computer's about to die and I have to plug it in?
Yeah. Go ahead. It's okay. The first thing I want to do with you guys before we get into too far into planning this paper, I want you to go to the checklist. Some of you are still accidentally forgetting some stuff, and your checklist is like maxed out right now. Maxed out. So you're going to see, you're going to end up writing 5 paragraphs here. You've got all your dress ups. The only one that they took out was the because clause, but they added it here to the www. But look at your openers. They're maxed out. Okay. We've got them all here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's all of them. There's no more than this. So the newest one on our checklist here is the ing opener, the ing. Remember the rule, you start with a word that has ing and it is going to sound like a verb. Okay. It's called a participle because it has the ing.
It also means that we're gonna have like 30 sentences in our essay,
Pretty much. Yeah.
if not more.
This one after the comma has to be the thing doing the inging. Remember, that's how that goes. So you got to make sure that the thing after that comma or the person after that comma is the one that's doing the inging at the beginning. That's the little rule that goes with the ing opener. You know that from your grammar book. And by the way, all of this, all of these dress ups and sentence openers are all in your grammar book. If you ever get stuck, you're sitting down for homework and you're drawing a blank, your brain is like, blank. What in the world is a quality adjective? I have no idea. Look in the front of your book. There's like a table of contents that has a little grid on it. It'll tell you where these things are in the book, and then you can go back and refresh your memory, like the Asia words. So make sure you use your grammar book for help if you need help with what these are. But this is how I grade your homework. You get a 10 if you have everything, except for band words, of course. But if you don't have everything, I'm not going to give you a 10. And if you don't get a 10, that means you have to go back and fix something and you need to look at my notes. I spend hours and hours and hours giving everybody, all of my students, feedback. And it helps me to know you're looking at that feedback because that means I'm helping you to become even a better writer. So I can tell you exactly what you need to do to fix something, and then you fix it and turn it back in. I know Aubrey, you guys, you and Kylie, everybody pretty much has been good about reading my notes and fixing things. So good
I'm
job.
just bad at responding.
That's okay. Just make sure to turn it back in so I can see the finished product so I can go, yes, that's what I want. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So it's a back and forth, that's what's hard on Zoom. I can't really see your stuff right now. So I got to use Google Classroom, and that helps me give you that feedback. Okay, so notice also the newest thing here, and we've used this before, is you have an introduction and a conclusion paragraph now. That's why this is 5. So this week, we're only starting with the body, which is the middle 3 paragraphs only this week. Next week, we'll come back and do the introduction and the conclusion. There's a pattern to this. So when you're taking your state testing and they want you to write a 5-paragraph essay because they might have you do that. You guys are older students now. Your writing test is going to get harder. Sorry to break it to you. But good thing you're ready for it, okay? So remember, if they want you to do a 5-paragraph essay, how many topics do you need for a 5-paragraph essay? Do you guys remember? No, not 5. Yes, 3. Thank you, Kylie. The topics come in the middle. Those are your bodies. Those are your body paragraphs. These topics right here go in paragraph 2, 3, and 4. So you need 3 topics, and then the intro and conclusion are separate. They're separate. Okay. All right. Personal adventure. Let's get out your lined paper here. Does anybody have any questions about the format or anything that I'm talking about as far as writing tests or checklists or anything? It doesn't look like anybody has any questions. Okay. So Matt, I need your camera on, and Ian, keep your cameras on, guys.
I'm still
And-
eating.
Okay. Well, I need you to finish within the next 3 minutes, okay? 3:11:25. That's today. Let's just call this adventure, skip a line. Adventure. And this is a KWO. We know what that is. Just like I said with your state testing, just break out your scratch paper and start building it like a whole outline here. For a 5-paragraph essay, skip a line. We start with Roman numeral 1, and I'm just going to have you do 1, 2, 3 here. That's your intro. It does not have to be long. However, in order to fit all of your dress ups and your openers, it ends up being more than 3 sentences. But there's only 3 main parts to the introduction, which we're going to focus on next week. Okay. And then skip a line, and we got Roman numeral 2, and let's go ahead and put 5 here. It's a good rule of thumb when you're building your topic paragraphs. Go ahead and put the word clincher and topic. See, like when you guys sit down to do your writing test, you could just like totally set all this up. Just like this. Oops. Yeah, that's 3. And then 1 through 5. Clincher. Topic. 4 is like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you run out of space, go to the back of your paper. I'm out of space. And then on the back, I'm going to do my conclusion, which is number 5. It looks like that with a V. And it's just, again, 1, 2, 3. So the pattern is your introduction is paragraph 1. It just has 3 parts to it. This is the bulk of your paper, are these 3 topics. You can see it takes up a lot of space. You've got more numbers here. You've got your topic clincher. This is the main part of your paper, is that middle part, the body. And then the conclusion, there's a pattern there that you're going to follow for that, which we will focus on next week. All right, thumbs up if you got that set up. You guys ready? Got it? Okay, good. See that? All right. Go ahead and skip a few lines back here, and we're just gonna like draw a line across. We're gonna take some notes back here on the back on this empty spot down here past the KWO.
I thought you were gonna do the parent's signature again.
Oh yeah. Wow, that goes way back, huh? Your subject of this paper is an adventure. So we are going to brainstorm together. This is also called inventive writing. And remember way back when we talked about inventive writing has the word invent, which is also in the word inventory. And that's when we take inventory in our own brains of information we already have. We don't have to do research for this paper. This is more like a creative style writing. Some of you are like, yes, I love creative writing. And some of you are like, oh my gosh, this is the hardest one, but you're going to be okay. And honestly, it's hard for me. I think you're good at it, Kylie, actually. You are really good at it. I think most people in here are good at creative writing. I struggle. I think I'm the only one. Anyway, um, this adventure can be something that actually happened to you, or it can be an adventure that you know of somebody else that happened to somebody else. Or here's the best part. It can be from a movie or a book.
Harry
It
Potter.
it can even be from a game or something you saw on YouTube or whatever. Okay, this does not have to be real for you. You're going to pretend like it is. If you have an actual adventure that actually did happen to you, that's okay too. So it's wide open. We're going to brainstorm some real adventures. You can brainstorm some crazy like sci-fi adventures. That's okay too. So start opening up your mind to something you might be interested in writing about as far as an adventure. We got to figure out what is an adventure anyway. Basically, an adventure is doing something new that you'd never done before, or that feeling of something being weird or unusual or a little bit thrilling or scary, something like that. Aubrey.
So it doesn't have to be something that's happened to us,
That's
but it
correct.
does have happened to us. Does it have to be like something bad, or can it be just like a place you went?
It can be either one. It can be something bad that happened, or it can be a place that you went and you experienced. Either one. Those are good questions. So basically, what I'm saying is it doesn't have to be a real thing that happened to you, but when you write it, you're going to, well, I'm going to give you the option. You can be in the actual adventure and use words like I, me, and my, or it can be about somebody outside of you. You can name the character and it can be an adventure that's happened to somebody else. So either way,
So can I write about a dance recital?
that would be perfect. A dance recital. That's a good one. Anybody else have any ideas going yet on an adventure?
I have a lot.
Oh, good. You can make a little list right here under the subject of ideas that you have. How about you, Matt? I need you to turn your camera on now, even if you're still eating, it's okay. But what is an adventure you're thinking of?
I don't have any ideas yet.
Okay, you have to have an idea before we go on to the next part of the lesson. So you're going to have to think about it like right now. It can be a movie that you saw if you have a favorite movie. Or if you have a game you like to play and there's maybe in the game you have to find, some missing thing. You just keep thinking about that. How about Ian? Did you think of one yet?
Oh, sorry. The DC trip.
Did you already go on it?
Yeah, we went on it.
You just
That
went last week.
yeah, the week that you were no, the not last week. The week that you were sick,
Oh, that's
we
right.
were
You told us about
we
it.
were
Yeah,
we were flying in on the plane.
that's right. Okay, I remember.
I'll
Okay.
do my trip across the United States, I guess.
Okay. Like, have you done that before?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. That sounds good. All right, so next to here, put whatever
Okay.
your adventure is.
I
Trip.
have 11.
You have 11? Oh my goodness. So try to narrow it down to your favorite one, okay?
Oh God, that's gonna take a while. Hold on.
Try.
5
Um,
later.
but I think Aubrey's gonna put in dance here. Ian, you're gonna put trip to DC. Matt's gonna put trip across the USA. Kylie's still deciding. You
should have like an arrow on top of my head.
you could close your eyes and just like point to your page and see where it ends up.
Washington. No,
Oh,
I don't want to do that. I'm just
then
gonna
cross that out.
do that. Okay. Florida.
Okay, trip to Florida. Okay, trip to Florida. And then underneath that, go ahead and put possible topics. Everybody put this.
Oh, shoot. I put it on the wrong area. No. I did this.
Oh, wow. That is a lot.
I
Okay.
needed a room.
This might help you choose though, because if you think you got to think of an adventure that has some possible topics with it. Like for Aubrey, maybe yours is like um styles of dance or positions or recitals or costumes. Like start making a list of things that are related to dance. You can make as many words here as you can think of, okay? Just start thinking of um your dance studio, the types of shoes you wear for your dance and things like that, okay?
This is gonna take a while.
And then Ian, that's all right. Start making a list of all the things that you saw in Washington, D.C., all the things that you did there. You can put buildings that you saw, documents that you saw. Start making a list of things about Washington, D.C., okay? Okay. Um, Matt, you're going to think about your trip across the United States. How did you guys travel? Did you drive? Did you fly? Did you stay in hotels? And then like the actual trip part. And then what did you see? What are some sites that you guys visited? And just start, I want to give you guys about 3 minutes right now. Just start making your own list about your own adventure. Okay. Possible topics, things about that. What did you see? What did you do? What did you experience? Ian, do you have a list down? Like if you guys took the subway, I did that once in Washington, D.C. You take the subway or
We
taxi,
took the metro.
the
What
metro.
was the subway like? Disgusting.
Actually, it wasn't too bad in Washington, D.C., but I've been on a subway in France and that was kind of disgusting. It was kind of dirty.
The
But in
metro
Washington,
in
D.C., it was actually pretty cool.
the metro in DC, most of them were really sketchy,
Oh boy.
especially when you're um, going in the metro when it's like completely dark outside.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it is a big city, so I mean it's a there's a lot of people there. Yeah, I guess now that I think about it, some of them were we took the metro during the middle of the morning and so it wasn't so bad, but anyway. And then talk about like even if you want to talk about some restaurants you went to or just make a big list of everything you think about your trip, okay? When you guys are done with what you can think of for now, give me a thumbs up. If you're still working on it, then keep going, okay? So Aubrey, tell me some things that you have on your list.
Um, Types of shoes, costumes, friends, dances, backstage, and when people graduate.
Okay, maybe recitals on there. Do you do recitals? Yeah, I know you talked about the stage, but I would put recitals and then maybe even music. Because I guess it depends on the type of dance you do, depends on like what music you dance to, kind of. Okay. Um, and then graduating, like graduating your class, like what you have to do to graduate your class. Is that what that means? Okay. Matt, how about you? Did you come up with a list?
Yeah,
What do you have?
I have our like first part of the journey, like leaving or wait, should I put like about because oh my gosh, what I did was I flew over there to Nebraska to do something with my dad, and then we drove back. So should I put like us, should I put something for us flying there or no?
Yeah, you can put that on your list. So basically what you're going to do is think of everything that was part of your trip. Flying, the driving, the hotels, the visiting, the whatever. You're going to just make a massive list here. And then we have to narrow it down to 3 that you're going to focus on. And I recommend when you guys are looking at your list, pick the 3 that you have the most information in your head. Remember, you're looking for your inventory. And you're asking yourself questions like who, what, when, where, why, how. Who were you with? What were you doing? When was it? Why did you go there? And those types of questions will help you come up with your plot. Okay. So, Ian, what do you have for yours? Wait, you're muted. Are you typing it or are you writing it, Ian?
What?
Are you writing it down or are you typing it? Because I see you on the computer. I just want to make sure you're working on this. Okay.
Yeah,
Did you make your list?
for the DC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Read your list to me. What do you have there?
Um, the Capitol building, the White House, the Washington Monument, the the Abraham Lincoln Memorial.
Okay. Those are good. And you should put on there the metro, right?
Oh yeah, the Metro.
The metro. Okay, those are pretty good. How about Kylie? Did you narrow it down yet? Did you figure it out? What you're gonna write about?
Yeah, and I already wrote my list.
Okay, what is your subject? What adventure are you choosing? And then read your list.
Florida, and my list is long. Very, very long. It has 21 on it.
Wow. Some of those you probably can combine. I want to make sure to tell you guys that.
Yeah.
Like for Aubrey, yours, you could combine like some of those about costume and shoes and things like that you can group together. So
You want me to read it all?
just read probably maybe like 7 or 8 of them, maybe your favorites out of the list.
Jumping off a bridge. That was fun.
Ooh.
Yeah, we gotta jump off the bridge. The only problem was that it was very shallow, the water.
Oh, yeah,
Which
that
means,
sounds scary.
the water was like right here. So when
How
you jump
high was
off
the bridge?
9 feet,
Oh my, that is pretty scary.
I jumped off it.
Oh my goodness. I guess you just have to be ready to like bend your knees once you hit the water, right?
Yeah. My brother was a scaredy cat and didn't go on it. But
Oh,
and it was the older brother. Logan went on it though. He jumped.
wow. That's scary.
We have the water is actually very crystal clear.
Okay.
We tried jackfruit there for the first time.
Oh, cool.
Went to Busch Gardens, in alligator land. We got some manta rays, stingrays, baby alligators.
Okay, so
Seabirds.
alligator land, is that what it was called?
I think so. I
So
can find those.
circle that. I think that would be a good topic because you have lots to talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then,
we also got sea slugs, like
oh, wow.
wild ones.
Oh, those sound
No, they're so cool. It had like the conch shells on top, and we just like dived down and got like 19 of them.
wow.
It was so cool.
So you just scuba dive then when you were there?
No, actually, like the water was so like crystal clear and so shallow. Well,
you
kind of shallow, like we were having to swim, but we just
Yeah.
dived down and go grab them.
Wow. Oh my God.
Mrs. Cisneros.
Yes.
You just
Ian.
had to be. You just.
I don't.
Oh wait, hold on. Hold on, Ian. I thought she was done.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kylie.
You had to make sure that you didn't walk on them, though.
Oh yeah.
That hurt. It really hurt.
Oh no. Oh my
They had
God.
the spikes around it.
Oh wow. Interesting. Okay, Ian, what were you gonna say?
I don't remember where it was, but there was a giant rock. It was up by Hume Lake. There was a giant rock,
Yeah.
and there was a river underneath the rock.
It's in Kings Canyon.
Oh, yes. Interesting. So,
She knows about that. Did you slide
yes.
off of it?
No, we jumped off of it.
No, it's really fun to jump off of.
Oh wow.
How big is the rock?
It's like really tall. It's just like
My mom, I asked my mom how tall she thought it was. She thought it was like 100 feet.
What?
it's
But
pretty
no,
tall.
That would hurt when you hit the water.
Yeah, it would.
Imagine doing a belly flop like that.
Oh my gosh. That would
Don't do that.
no.
Patrick
That would not be
Grayson
good.
jumped on his back, and his whole back was red.
Oh my gosh.
No.
All right, you guys. We got to get this ready for you to write this week, okay? So we're going to focus, like I said earlier, on 2, 3, and 4. Those are your body paragraphs. So you need to pick
Oh gosh.
3 of your topics. Now think about the topics that you have the most information on. That's why I was recommending that alligator park, because that's like, you've got a lot to tell about that part of your trip. And Ian, basically all of those buildings have things inside of them. So you can, I think it would be cool to talk about the White House and what that was like, what you experienced there on your adventure.
Honestly, it was very short.
Okay.
There were a couple
Picking. Oh, go
there were
ahead.
a couple statues, and there was a piano, and then that was it. Yeah.
Okay. So maybe another building or somewhere else, or you could actually, one of your topics could be government buildings, and then you just talk about each one of the buildings. And then another topic could be your experience traveling or anything else that you guys did while you were there. So try to think
stayed
of
at a
3 top
hotel.
subjects or topics. What'd you say?
I said we stayed at a hotel.
At a hotel? Yeah, you could talk about the hotel. So here's the other thing. If you guys get stuck and you don't have a whole lot to write about, I want you to try to think outside the box, and you can add to your story, meaning like you're going to embellish it. You can make stuff up. It doesn't have to be, some of it can be real, some of it can be totally made up. Like for Aubrey, when you're talking about the dance, yeah, you could talk about, like for the dance, you could talk about a situation that could happen. Doesn't mean it had to happen to you or it did happen to you, but like a situation where you know, missed your cue and you had to come out and improvise or something, you know, you can have a problem in your writing, and it doesn't have to be real. These don't have to be real. Okay. So I want
at the very end, can you separate the facts from myths?
yeah. Like it's a
The
like
whole
a
thing
game
is
or
myth.
something. Yeah.
The whole thing is myth.
So the first word next to Roman numeral 2, 3, and 4 is going to be whatever your adventure is. So for Aubrey, sorry, you're going to put dance, 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 your first word. And Kylie's going to put Florida, Florida, Florida. And Ian's going to put Washington, D.C., Washington, D.C. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. And then Matt's is going to be travel USA, travel USA, travel USA. Got it? Fill that in, put a comma by these, because the first word is always the subject. And then the next word is going to be your topic that you choose. So when you're looking at your list of topics, think logically about the order. If you're going to talk about the travel part, like Matt was saying, you know, do I talk about how I got there and the traveling and all that? If you pick that as one of your topics, put that first. Like after you put traveling USA, you can put here planes, trains, and automobiles. I don't know, however you got there. and and the actual part of traveling and the hotels. So you can put the word like experience or modes of transportation or something like that. Okay. Audrey, you can put like, probably for dance, you could even talk about when like the beginning of your dance career could be like when you started and what type of dance you started with and what you learned and that type of stuff. Or if you want to make it more technical, you could talk about like styles of dance. And then the second one could be costumes and auditions or costumes and recitals. And then the third one could be music, like what types of music or so the goal is, here's your goal. I know I'm just throwing out ideas because I want you guys to be making this your own. The goal is to think of topics about your subject, about your adventure that you have a lot of information on. If you have to combine some topics in the same paragraph, I'm okay with that. Okay. All right. So let's just for a minute here in the chat make a list of the 3 topics you're going to choose. I already know what your subjects are, so you don't have to tell me that. Tell me, list your 3 topics in the chat so I can see what you guys are thinking as far as your topics. You know what your topics are yet, Kylie?
Yeah, I just don't know how to go to the chat.
There's a button on the bottom of the screen.
Are you on an iPad?
Yeah, I'm on an iPad.
That's what's tricky about it. If you click on your own video feed, does it give you options come up?
Yeah. It says share content. Do you want me to do that?
No. You can just tell me if that's
Okay.
However, you mute yourself. How do you mute yourself on an iPad?
You go to the very top.
and there's nothing next to that.
There's shared content, participations, and more.
Oh yeah, try more.
Says chat 1.
Yeah, try that.
I just don't like messing around because this is my mom's iPad.
Okay, then you don't have to. You can just tell us. It's okay. What are
I have
your topics?
Busch Gardens, Alligator Land, and deep sea fishing.
Oh, yes, very good. Very good. I like those 3 topics. Those are going to be good to write about. And you can think of some moments that were funny or scary or crazy, you
I
know.
don't like roller coasters. But guess what it was? It was theme park / aquarium / zoo.
Oh, nice. Okay. And Aubrey's, I see yours, shoes and costumes, dance and music, friends and backstage. Oh, I like that. That's good. And the dance, the backstage one is when you're talking about recitals. Like that's do you have those more than once a year? Or is it usually just once a year? It depends.
It depends on what you do, because if you're on dance team, then you do it 6 times a year, and then if
Oh,
you're
wow.
Nutcracker and dance team, then you do it 7 times a year. It just depends on what you're doing.
Wow. Are you in the Nutcracker?
Yeah.
Oh, that was the Christmas one, right? That's the Christmas run. Do you do Swan Lake
No, the only one that we do is the Nutcracker at the Fox Theater.
at the Fox? And that's for Christmas. Okay.
And then dance team, we go to like all the like Vegas and all them to do dance competitions.
Okay. That's cool. Matt, I see yours flight, hotel, drive, museum, hotel, drive, visiting friends, drive, hotel. So I think that first part, flight, hotel, drive, that should be 1. Okay. And then you don't need hotel or drive on the others.
Okay.
You would need like just focus on the museum you went to and maybe the friends that you visited. Okay.
Okay.
Don't keep talking about the hotel and the drive because that'll be a boring paper. You want to change it up. Each paragraph is going to be something separate. So I really need you guys to make sure that you include that. And don't forget when you guys do your paragraphs, you got to have your topic clenchers and your topic clenchers need to be those topics. Okay. So like for Aubrey, shoes and costumes, you'll highlight that in the first and the last sentences in the first paragraph there. And Ian, I don't see yours yet in here. typing it? Or do you want to just tell it to me?
I don't know what I'm gonna do yet.
Okay. I would say call one of it like uh what building did you see the most stuff in? Or did you get the, experience the most stuff?
Um, I don't know.
When you went between buildings, did you guys rent? I think you said you rented a bike or you rented a scooter or something.
No, we ended up not doing that because there was an age requirement. You had to be 16 and it requires a driver's license.
Oh, so how
we
did you
ended
get
up not
between
doing.
buildings?
We did do the big bus tour though.
That can be a topic, the big bus tour. On that tour, did you go see the buildings? Or where did you go to tour on the bus? Do you remember, Ian?
Oh, sorry. Say it again.
You got to focus now. I can see you're doing stuff on the computer, okay? On the big bus tour, did you go to the buildings or where did you go on the big bus tour?
We I have no idea. We went on the big bus tour and the driver kind of just drove around.
And we talked about like the different languages and we went.
We went to visit Arlington.
Okay. That's a good one. That could be a paragraph all on its own. The big bus tour in Arlington. And then maybe like the buildings that have did you go to the Hall of Records, or I forget what they called it, where the Constitution is and the Bill of Rights and yeah, all of the documents. Okay. So anyway, you can think about it. We're at the end of class now, but try to think of 3 separate topics, okay, Ian?
And then technically this is in Virginia, but we did go to the International Spy Museum.
That could be its own paragraph. Write that down so you don't forget about that. Okay, on the
Did I
back.
write about that? Because it's in Virginia, not DC.
Yeah, that's okay.
Virginia. The Spy Museum.
Wait, the Spy Museum is in DC?
Yeah.
Oh,
There you go.
Arlington was in Virginia.
Okay, okay. So even if it's
Yeah.
in 2 different states, that's okay, Ian. It was one trip that you did. So you can use those for each different paragraphs if that helps you. Okay. So as you guys are creating your outline here, you're going to ask yourself the questions. In fact, before you go, I know we're out of time, but somewhere on your page, if it's over here next to your list, write down these questions. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. This will help you come up with a plot if you start thinking about going through these questions and taking inventory in your own brain about what you remember about your experience. And don't forget, if you get stuck and you can't think of anything that actually happened, throw something in there. Like you got lost in the taxi on the way to the White House. I mean, it's okay to make up stuff too. It doesn't have to be all real. So the point is to fill these out. Fill out your Roman numerals and your numbers here. Don't forget your topic clinchers and all that. All right, you guys. So you're going to do 3 paragraphs this week for the body paragraphs of this paper. This is an essay about an adventure. Any questions before you go? Please don't forget. Oh, I see your hand, Aubrey.
Grayson, shh. Do we have to do the clincher topic paper thing?
Not that one. That's going to be next week. That's the introduction and the conclusion, okay? You're only going to do the 3 body paragraphs this week. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So Roman numerals 2, 3, and 4. And we'll do Roman numeral 1 and 5 next week. I got to make sure you get all of that stuff in there, and then we'll play with the introduction and the conclusion. All right, you guys, good job today. See you next week. Have a good one. Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.